beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. In this video we'll be looking at boiler extensions and extended malt pipes that are suited to upgrade all 35 litre and 65 litre Robobrew, Brewzilla and Digiboil units, including the brand new Brewzilla Gen 4. So let's get started. Here is the boiler extension. This is the 35 litre version, but there is also a 65 litre version, and there will also be a 100 litre version later on once the 100 litre Brewzilla is released. This 35 litre version actually adds a further 12 litres of volume, resulting in a system volume capacity of 47 litres, which is 12.4 US liquid gallons. However, you can actually stack two of these, increasing your 35 litre system into a 59 litre system, which is 15.5 US liquid gallons. At this two stack level, Keglands tell me that your heating elements will still be powerful enough to reach a boil under normal ambient temperature brewing conditions. As I already mentioned, there is also a 65 litre version which extends by 24 litres per extension, transforming your system into an 89 litre or 23.5 US liquid gallons with just one. If you were to add two extensions to a 65 litre system, then you will have an upgraded volume of 113 litres or almost 30 US liquid gallons. Each boil extension at this size will increase heat loss by approximately 100 watts if the liquid is to the top of the extension. Despite its budget retail price, I find this extension to be of good quality, and this is yet another example of Keglands' great value for money products. I would have expected a higher price personally, especially since such an upgrade goes against upgrade from a smaller brewing system to a larger one, which Keglands would clearly make more money from if a user stayed with them. However, by releasing products like this, you certainly keep your existing customers happy, and I imagine this goes a long way in pleasing most of them in the same way that it does me. Applying the extension to your brewing system is fast and easy. Included with each extension is a silicone seal. I have added the seal to the top edge of this brewing system, which is made easier if you add the seal into some water first. You then add the extension on top, lining up the 4 clamps of the brewing system with the 4 clamps on the extension. You then clamp down the extension on all 4 points, which will give you a nice secure fit. Not only does this upgrade increase the potential volume you can brew, it also provides more headspace against a boil over, which is certainly very useful, especially if you favour up to the top brews. Also, there is no issue in using your existing malt pipe with the halo support ring kept in its usual place, as shown here. To lift the standard grain basket with this fitted, you will simply need to pull it up from a deeper position. You will also note that when it's in the raised position for sparging, that only half of the malt pipe is now visible, as you would expect. But of course none of this is bad in any way, it is simply different, which is why I mention it. However, to fully realise the potential of this extra volume provided by the boil extenders, it is great that a larger extended malt pipe is also offered, so let's now take a look at this. Here is the original Gen 3 35 litre malt pipe on the left and the extended 35 litre malt pipe on the right. You can see that the extended malt pipe is a fair bit taller, which naturally allows you to add more grain. I have now added on screen the different dimension sizes for your interest. Naturally the diameter is the same, but the extended malt pipe is 195mm taller compared, which is 7.67 inches. The original Generation 3 35 litre malt pipe can house a maximum of 9 kilos of malt on average, but with an efficiency in mind a maximum of 7 kilos is advised. However, the new malt pipe extension can house a maximum of 13.5 kilos of malt on average and is classed as efficient with a maximum of 10.5 kilos, so essentially you can add 3.5 kilos more grain to this extended pipe, which is very nice. In imperial measurements, this gain is 6.62 pounds of extra malt. Let's now quickly go through the differences for the 65 litre systems. As I did previously with the 35 litre versions, I am now showing two numbers. The top figure is the maximum malt that the basket can averagely hold, and the bottom figure is the maximum amount of malt with efficiency in mind. So you can now see that upgrading your 65 litre malt pipe will gain you an extra 6.5 kilos or 14.33 pounds of efficient malt. It has to be said that this is pretty awesome. Should you be lucky enough to already have your hands on one of the Gen 4 Brewzillas, then here are the numbers for their standard malt pipes plus the differences with the extended malt pipes. So in this case, the upgrade for efficiency amounts are 2.5 kilos for the 35 litre model and 4 kilos for the 65 litre model. It all helps for sure. It is also good to know that if you decide to upgrade to the Gen 4 Brewzilla from a previous model, then this upgrade will still be of use. The other thing that is different apart from the size of this extended malt pipe is that you also have 2 stages of feet. This means that you can lift the basket in 2 stages for ergonomics, which is especially useful when it is heavy. Another great benefit is that you can have the malt pipe more or less where you want it within the brewing system. Further adjustments can be made by moving the brewing system's halo ring up to onto one of your extensions. All of these adjustments make this extended malt pipe very useful for smaller batches as well as larger batches, plus being able to mash larger and smaller batches more efficiently. It is also well worth mentioning that Keglands now offer a new type of bottom plate for all of their malt pipes that does away with the older overflow pipework, letting the basket manage itself. I have tested this personally and it works very well. This new bottom plate is known as the Pro version and it is a separate purchase to the extended malt pipe. So here are my final thoughts. Just like with the boil extenders, the extended malt pipes are of good quality and are offered at a very good value for money price. Having a brewing system that is offered upgrades like these is certainly something that is quite unique at this point, but I hope that Keglands' bold move here is seen by other manufacturers and notes are taken that affect change. It is simply not financially realistic for many of us to upgrade our brewing systems every time something better comes along, but I would imagine that most can afford upgrades like these instead of buying a whole new brewing system. This is certainly better for the homebrew community and better for the companies involved too, because they are still seeing sales revenue. Please check your local homebrew store for pricing and availability for these products. These are not new for Australian customers, but they are certainly new for the rest of the world, so you may have a little wait ahead of you depending on where you live. Now, having said all of this, if you are ready for a new upgraded brewing system, then Keglands have just recently released the Brewzilla Gen 4 models in Australia, and you can expect these to arrive in the rest of the world in the coming months this year. These new brewing systems are to be available in 35, 65 and 100 litre models, and are also compatible with the products mentioned in this video. It is fair to say that this 4th generation of the Brewzilla is certainly the largest leap in the series so far, the biggest news being that its controller is mounted up high and sports a full colour screen along with connectivity via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth that is supported by the wrap platform with Brewfather compatibility just around the corner. I will be covering these new brewing systems in my usual detail, and you can expect a preview video to start with and then a full overview plus some comparison videos at the very least. I have already released a Brewzilla Gen 4 preview video that features Keith from Keglands, so if you've not seen this already then check it out for the latest of information available at this time. I do hope that you found this video useful, informative and interesting. If so, why not consider liking and subscribing? For further support you can join the channel's Facebook group, and if you would like to support the channel then check out the channel's merchandise store, as all profits go back into the channel. Until next time, happy brewing!